Hey.
What's up,
Welcome
everybody?
back. Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
And it's good to be back. How you guys been?
Nibatala. Welcome back.
No, you know the good thing is,
Yeah.
everything for sure, but we like the one come back. We are done with them. They must leave.
Yeah.
They must get some sore.
Yeah,
No,
sibuyile. Full effect, full force.
What's up, guys?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Fine. How was the break?
The break was amazing. And yours?
It was good. Got to chill. Got
Yeah.
to be with the family. Got to recalibrate a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Vij, family man?
I didn't get a break.
Of
You
course.
didn't get a break.
I didn't get a break, you know,
Yeah?
stays working 24/7, but I actually did miss the podcast. I won't lie to you.
Yeah, no,
there
the
was
break
moments,
from the podcast. Vish.
Yes.
How was the break from
Yes,
the podcast?
like,
Because we took a break from that.
Yes.
So how was that?
Like, I missed it.
Yeah.
Like, I would find myself going to watch and commenting on the comments.
Vij.
That's what I would do. Like, I would like, oh, okay, no, okay, sharp. Let me address something.
That's why we gave you the section amacomments. The break was really lovely, and it was nice to also, because I felt it did seem like, because of people might not say it, but it's time for us to really own what we've done in this space of podcasting.
Yes.
And when we did our thing, it seemed like a lot of people kind of were seeing that, damn, like I want to be a part of this space too. And they did come join. It was nice to step away to sort of like let the people run and to like really look at the climate and the terrain and see exactly where you fit in and how you mold yourself to fit in with certain messaging and so on and so forth. So that was beautiful. And obviously, like, I give props to us for utilizing it properly, you know, the photo shoots,
I was about to say,
you know,
right?
really stepping and separating ourselves from the rest of the people, down to the point where, guys, the imaging and the thought process of that is even better than some artists.
Yeah.
First one, you know?
So I really am proud of us, and I'm really thankful that I'm back with you guys again. Looking forward to what we are going to portray and the messaging for season 3.
Season 3, we added again. I'm quite happy as well to be back. I think it was a nice break just to kind of like relax and not have to worry about, you know, putting on a face to be here. But
wait, what do you mean?
no, it wasn't like getting ready. And you know, sometimes
How was last night?
Anyway. But nonetheless, I'm happy to be here with you guys. Like you mentioned, the shoot was really fun. I'm sure people can see it in the pictures as well. There's way more pictures that we took.
Sure.
And there are more fun pictures that are going to be portrayed. There's so much more that we're looking forward to as POPcast, as we're trying to move to the next level.
Yeah.
We understand that when we started, it was very like, okay, let's just do what we can. Now it's like, okay, how do we take it up a notch? How do we take it up to the next level? So the pictures are obviously testament to that. Outside of that, we're also working on the website.
Yes, sir.
So that's also dope, and that's going to be dropping as well. So we're quite excited. I mean, there's so much more that we've got planned for POPcast.
You know what I love about it? What? Like, as you're saying, that we were separating ourselves from the pack. And I think as the POPcast crew, we are going to venture out into doing more and more.
For sure.
So we'll become a POPcast TV. Like, we'll become our own Eben Brunyana.
Yes.
In the podcast space, that these
Showcase.
guys are molding their own path. you know?
Showcase.
And there's more to come out, just to say, in the website, and there's other things that we're cooking up. So, yeah.
I know they're out there like, he's just gonna talk about those gowns.
Because everyone's like,
Everybody's on them gowns. Whoa.
as you can see, we also want the gowns because the only person wearing it is the homie right here. Not just Mushile, not
At the last
us.
shoot, everybody had their gowns on. Everybody changed. They left them there. I took them because I had to take care of them, because you never know. So if you guys want them, you should have taken them at the shoot. But can I just advertise quickly?
Yes.
Lalelani ke boy, le gowni. I say gowni. Jeez.
I was so,
My man, I've never advertised. For the winter, we've got the hoodie. But for the summer, we can just take it away.
disposable.
You understand? So masingene kwizinto esincokola ngazo. Sincokola ngantoni qala. Level 1, no, since you are under hangovers.
Oh my gosh.
Status, yeah.
Oh, am I going to be like the poster child of Ubumnandi?
This is not here anymore, so I guess so.
I'm taking over. All right, so we're back on level 1. Everybody's quite excited about the fact that we can groove again. Obviously, events are starting to open up. So for artists, it's actually a good idea. For DJs, I think it's been a great thing since level 2 because I think restaurants have always been open to having DJs coming on to play. I was worried about the artists, if I can personally say, because I don't know if any promoters was going to pay an artist fee for only having a certain amount of people at the venue. So I was very worried about that. But obviously level 1 kind of opens up to that where you can have an outdoor venue with at least 500 people. That's the maximum. So
Zone 16 look like 500.
I mean, you know, they kind of stepped it up a little. They took it up a little. You know, they were playing with the restrictions.
Yeah.
But shout out to Tuli Kwebs. I just need to give a shout out to her. She brought all her artists out. As we know, Tuli has a management company called Local Communications. And she brought out all the artists that she manages. And those artists were out there and they were performing at Lokefest at Zone 6. So shout out to Tuli. I think it was really awesome for her to kind of open up the floodgates for Johannesburg.
Cassper mentioned like what artists are top of your
So
head?
the artists that she manages, Aries, Scorpion Kings. She also manages Dali Wonga. I think she has a hand in Durban Coco, but she doesn't manage her. I think she just because she's friends with Durban Coco, so I think she helps out with her brand. But she also had friends of Lok as well, which were the likes of Venom, Banks, Boiti was also out there. Mr. Jazzik from Jazzy Disciples was out there. It was a really dope lineup. There are some people I'm forgetting, but it was really dope.
So what time did you leave?
At the end of the party.
12.
Just a little bit after midnight, but you know.
I made it. So all of these people performing, it started from what time?
It started at 4. Doors opened at 4.
Yeah.
But I think performances only started at around 8.
It is a daytime event, but yes, it's a rock up. Even on 10, but it's rock up 8.
I think, yes, people are probably going to come slightly earlier, but not too early. Because it's still inherent in us to arrive late. But I think with the curfew moving over to midnight, it just makes it that much easier for us to be able to get there just a little bit later. But it also means that you're only going to have a few hours of groove time. So you got to play it how you wish. I mean, even it's not only just Joburg. So that was Lokefest in Johannesburg, but also Rands in Cape Town also had a huge party a few weeks back, and they also opened the floodgates. But level 1, take it to the top.
Rands
I don't think it was 500. It's a little bit over, but you know.
You can hear the crowd screaming like they've never been to a party before. Excitement, like Abandu are going in, and I'm loving it. It's great for artists to be performing to crowds like that.
Yeah.
And to what you were saying, Vigi, I think that's a very relevant question. For me personally, it's definitely changed the hours of the partying. I actually like going in early now and leaving earlier.
Yes.
How I do fear that the 12 o'clock curfew, because South Africa, and me, in my past thinking, I never liked feeling I didn't feel like I partied if I didn't cross night. You understand? Hey. So ngoku bayibeka ku 12, you can be damn sure abantu bazobe doing whatever they're doing till 3 a.m. You know? But personally, from the marches that were happening in Durban for artists' sake and how they ended, I knew that sooner or later, this situation is going to turn to a 1976, June 16, where the kids are like, we don't want to get taught in Afrikaans and take it in their own accord and their own hands to make something happen. And I think artists are going to do that because they're going to see what's happening at Zone 6. They're going to see what's happening at Rands. And sooner or later, people are going to be like, no, fuck this, bro. I'm going to go gorilla and Rambo on this shit because I am starving and people are looking to have fun. Plus other people are doing it.
Yeah.
So why is this nisha? You understand? Go. Just the Uncle Vinny also here going. Anyway, we'll get to that one. What's next on the menu?
So you know with the whole level 1 thing, I've gotten a few gigs, you know. And
oh, you still a DJ?
Aye, no.
But we never know with
we never know with
Vijay and Temple said they hung up their headphones long ago. So I was like, oh, you're back now that it's level 1. Okay.
No, like
okay.
I think for him and I, it's the passion. Like
Yeah.
I can't leave the game. You know what I mean? It's the passion more than anything. But one thing I know, when you get those calls, yo, can you come play? Mara ish. Yangipa.
And you know,
and you know, obviously it's relationship based, and some people are like, yo, homie, it's cool. I'm here to build with you.
Yeah.
As long as you'll always be there for me as well.
Yeah.
So I think the whole industry is going to be those things. Good, not. You know what I mean?
It's very relationship based right now.
Yeah, so everyone's just gonna step it up, help themselves out, you know. The one thing that I do hope is just the crime. I'm really worried about the crime. I just hope people will always be safe, regardless of whatever.
Showcase.
You know what I mean?
So true. That's so funny enough, you mentioning the crime. I was actually out at a launch, actually for this venue where we're shooting right now. Shout outs to Black Coffee, Euphonic, as well as Major League for allowing us to shoot here today. We're at Workshop 55. They just opened this venue this past week. They launched it. And funny enough, mentioning that, so when I was parking my car coming to the launch, there was a guy, I don't think he was a car god. He was probably just a street guy trying to do his thing, asking for maninyana, you know. So we gave him just a couple of rands, and he was like, you know what, nyanbonga, which you guys gave me these rands, instead of me busy punching into people's cars, trying to make a couple of rands here, trying to make sure that I can pay for things at home. And it just makes you realize the mind of a thief. It's not necessarily Yoguti, he wants to do it, because but he's just like, I'm driven into this direction because I have to go home and feed my family. How am I going to feed my family without an income? And unfortunately, that's what the lockdown did. It made a lot of people destitute, or it put the unemployment rate at such a higher rate where people are now resulting to crime as opposed to making an honest living. You know what I mean? So it's a really difficult time, but I really hope the country will survive it. You know?
I was also at this launch, and guess what? I ran into Noni's nigga.
Oh my God.
Noni.
I
was saving it. So I'm talking to
please don't.
How do I just talk?
Tell me, this is interesting.
So vithi ngiyancokola naye ke dithi ya blah 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 blah. Athi wait. Atsali out. Yayaza. Wait. Kutsali out.
Like a baby.
Usanje wait, kwathiwa nje wabanjwa ngesandla. Waziswa umfana ecam kwami. Kodwa sibusisi.
I'm glad you don't remember his name. It's fine.
It starts with an S.
Oh.
I'm right.
Yes. No.
Starts with an S. It doesn't matter. You see him.
Okay.
But then I'm like, yo, what up, dog? Yo, you got one. You know that, right? It's goddamn guys. It's here. Fuck these hip hop niggas. They don't know how to treat a lady. Survive. Survive. But anyway, speaking on the launch.
I hope he knows that I won't be nice to him, right?
Of course.
Thank you.
Gosh, your dog. So, speaking of the launches at this place and Black-owned businesses, you know, I want to encourage you guys out there. If you have a restaurant, you have a spot where you want us to come shoot. And also, it might not be a place that is a restaurant or a dinner vibe. It could be aesthetically pleasing, plus you want to get your advertising out. Let us know about your details and we can sort out the nitty-gritties and we'll come shoot at your spot. It'll be great to provide that kind of service. But shout outs to Coffee, Major League, Euphonic for this one. It's gonna go up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, talking about Black business, we're gonna jump into the next segment. Black business is also on the up and up. Even though we're on lockdown, we are supporting our Black entrepreneurs which are in the entertainment space. So somebody had actually suggested that why don't you shoot at the skate hub? And we're like, yeah, we're actually gonna hit up Speedster. We're gonna make sure. So shout out to Speedy. The skate hub, skate park is officially open.
Yes.
So a big love to him. I mean, he's still our brother. We still love him. We're definitely going to support him. If you're a skater, please make sure that you go and check it out as well. He's been working really hard on that skate hub. He's been working really hard on that.
We're going to put the address and flyer, right? Because I know that.
Definitely. And I think that's one of those things that he's been wanting to put up for so long. So shout outs to Speedster for making sure that comes through. You also got some of the best skateboarders in the country to come through
To come
and test
through.
it out. So shout out to Speedy for doing that. Like he's really putting in the work in the background.
Really
so,
is.
I hope those corporate companies invest in them. I
Yes,
hope so. I hope
yes,
Nina, my
yes.
friends, please.
Yeah, ningamncisho, Spisa, ningamcisho.
Showcase.
Outside of that, then we've also got Boity who dropped her perfume,
Yeah.
Boity Sapphire.
Pretty crazy with it.
The
yo.
bottle looked J. I was like, oh.
And outside of just
Money.
dropping her perfume, she also went next level and she said sample size in the new Glamour. So check out the new Glamour for the ladies. There's a sample size in the new Glamour magazine for this month, so you can check it out. I think that's next level because I've only
It's
seen
mad
that.
next level,
I've only
dog.
seen that with like
Estee Lauder.
yes, you know what I mean.
So the scent, have you smelt it?
I haven't smelt it
okay.
as yet because I've been at home, I won't lie. But I'm definitely going to check out the Glamour sample and I'm going to purchase the actual perfume itself.
Because it looks,
But-
the colors when I saw, like, obviously I was like, it looks kind of fresh.
Yeah.
It looks summer.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Yes.
it's dropping at the right time.
Yes.
Fresh. And it looks like Boity, so it looks good, you know. So
It's dope, like, because she learned that, you know, you learn your brand power when working with the brands and you see how much your name and your influence does for them. And I like the fact that she's taken it a step up and went, now myself.
Yeah.
When we, you know what I mean? Even though there is a big brand obviously making the things and packaging it for her, but to have her name stand alone after learning those lessons of what she did for Impulse and everything else that Boity attaches her name to really, really flies. She's got a fan base that supports her not just with her music, but also with the product, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the fan base that really is needed now because of artists not being able to get booked, people becoming more entrepreneurial with restaurants, with merch. It's deeper than a fan base that just wants to get your song on Fagaza and bump it in the car or DJ it at a gig. It's really about, did you or
Where?
have at a gig?
Okay.
Yeah, it's really about it's really about have you grown a fan base that you, because a fan base like that is a fan base that you have given to as well.
Yeah.
It's not a fan base you just take from that keeps just, you know, you have to cultivate it so that when you are giving them something, they're like, no, we'll pay this much for this product because of what you've given us in the past.
Can I add on to that?
Yes, sir.
Also with your fan base, you grow with your fan base. So grow with them and also expose yourself to another fan base.
Yes.
Where you kind of grow more of your fan base.
For sure.
Yes.
You know,
For sure.
longevity steps above for your
sure.
branding. You know
And
what I
one
mean?
person who's done that so awesomely as well has been Uzinhle. One thing I love about Zinhle is that she always takes it up a level. And you can see that especially with the types of products that she's kind of put out. She started with the watches, then she moved on to the accessories. Then she said, okay,
Furniture,
cool.
ne?
She's got the furniture brand, which is something else. Now she's coming back with the sunglasses. It's every, but Aerovision is about to drop as well, and the sunglasses are also going to drop. And I've honestly come to a point where I'm just like, Uzinhle uyi wholesaler. She'll sell you anything. Unama mask,
yeah.
unama accessory.
Yeah.
She's got the.
I sell
but
ice in the winter.
But she understands her market because the market will always buy, and she makes it affordable enough for her market to purchase. And I think that's what's dope, is that a lot of the frames, a lot of the quality of the stuff that she puts out is also so up standard, so like high quality, but it's affordable enough for people to purchase it, so she doesn't make it too expensive.
Yeah.
So you can see with some of the frames, some are like you can see it's similar designs to like international type of brands, but it's still Aerovision, which is really dope. So that's going to be dropping soon. Shout out to
Love
Zinhle
it.
for
I
that.
love that what you mentioned, the high quality that's affordable. It's something like Jonathan D, you know?
Yes.
So, because we got, you know what I'm saying, we got these new slobs popping off right now. Real hard. And they come in cream as well, real hard. So it's like they really affordable. I mean, the shoes are just $650, $750s, you know? But anyway.
Zokuthenga wena lokhu busy advertiser for free.
Alright, ezinhle advertise Zero Vision, advertise showing yam. Alright, yeah, dog. Get dog.
I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
Sithini ke ngoku?
But also, no. The last person I forgot to mention also was Muesli. Big shout out to Cruz for bringing her on now. She's also got her own flavor, Blossom. And she's also taking it up a notch. And she also got the Great Africa's teas that she's
the
selling.
teas, yeah.
The Great Africa teas are also dope because she's taking the the proceeds of that, and she's going to be donating a portion of that to charity.
Yeah, I like that.
So I love the fact that she's also still bringing in an element of sale back to the people.
Back to the people again, what I was talking about. You understand? COVID took us to that point where we understood like shit. We can't just be taken. We gotta be given back.
It's true. Another one I'll also bring up was Usex Bantwini.
Yeah.
He also decided to take some of his royalty proceeds.
Whoa.
All his royalties, and he's trying to disperse them amongst 2,000 families. So shout out to Zex for that.
Shout out to Zex for that. We appreciate it, bro.
For you to give out your royalties.
Onto the music. There was gang music that dropped during the lockdown. There was gang music that came out during our break as well. We had kind of touched on how excited we were about the albums that were going to drop, but we hadn't gotten a chance to speak about them.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump straight into the albums. Zulu Man with Some Power, Any Minute Now. Shane Eagle also dropped an album, as well as
Yeah, it's Shane has dropped a pre-order.
Oh, pre-order.
Yeah, but just the one song. And we'll talk about the mechanics of that, because that's the beauty about it, is the mechanics of it.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So the first one that dropped was Zulu Man with Some Power. How was feeling?
I'm fucking good with it. I'm fucking good with it. What is crazy for me, obviously you're aware of what people are saying and you see what people are saying and stuff. This is what's crazy for me about the Zulu Man with Some Power, and especially like a Nasty C thing. The first part is the fact that he doesn't get compared to his age group anymore. That's number one. A 23-year-old is being compared to grown men. That's a bit like, oh, so what does that say, right? That's number one. Number two, I also thought about this and I was like, it's crazy how everybody is on this rap in Zulu, but no one will dare say that to Elaine. You guys have double standards. You guys are fucked up. 3, there is no way and no how that there will ever be a resolution with this sound thing. And whoever so doesn't understand that things are moving forward and these kids aren't moving back, I think you're going to have a very hard time facing the successes in ways that you didn't imagine, in ways that you didn't forecast, because it didn't come in the way that you wanted it. It's not going to come in that way, but it is happening in that other way, and you can't deny it. I think it's our duty then to make sure that success would be representative of all the accents, all whatevers, but that's not our duty, that's the artist's duty, you know? But from watching the Shanes, the A. Reeses, the Lucas Raps, the Nasties, like even Shane Eagle, Naya, or Aries, they don't compare them to the age groups because their kids have shattered the sphere of things. So I urge people to really like understand that this shit is way out of your hands right now, and it's only going to get better for these kids. And it's hard to swallow that it's not going to happen in Zulu, or it's not going to happen in Xhosa, or it's not going to happen to them going, yo, OG, you did so much for me, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to happen like that because it didn't happen like that. And that's the tough shit that niggas have to swallow now. Honestly, because the kids' fan bases are there. So you cannot tell the fan base that they must not like what they like. If there was no fan base, if there was no success, if there was no videos with Lil Keed, if there was no interviews with Say where tours are being organized with Lil Uzi Vert, if there was no T.I. speaking on it, no matter who it was, whenever you rapped, no matter who you were, no matter what language you rapped in, niggas came in here wanting to get signed by overseas label. It didn't happen for you. Sorry, your thing didn't work out the way you thought it did. It doesn't mean you're not dope, but it happened to someone else in another way. It doesn't mean they're not dope. You gotta respect the game. Not the issues, but the game. Niggas are on Times Square. It didn't happen for you, it's happening to someone else in a way that you didn't foresee it. We're sorry about that. But we cannot sit there and try and rewind things. Everything is happening the way it should happen, and 1020 and Raf and Java and Anson Gobeni and Black Diamond, they doing their thing, and maybe that will get over there. But that's not our role. The riot and the campaigns are on. The campaigns, we don't do the campaigns. It's the fans. And honestly, like that's the way I see it, and that's the way it is right now.
That's so true. I do think the music speaks for itself, and the fans also then speak to who they support. And I see that 100% with all of the kids who are pushing their music and obviously have the fan base that you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, we will always sit back. Maybe some people, maybe not, let me not say we, let me say some people don't understand it. But it's not up to you to understand it. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. You know what I mean? For instance, at Lokfest, Reese was out there performing. The whole entire venue was going crazy. Shaking. Mind you, he hasn't even dropped his album yet. But people are just like, yo, we're out here for the boy. But nonetheless, let me get back to the album itself, Zulu Man with Some Power. Shout outs to Nasty. The album obviously is dope. A lot of people have this or that to say about it. I love the fact that he still brought in some Zulu nuances throughout the album. So for me, that was very important, because you can't call something Zulu Man without bringing in a little bit of Zulu into it here and there. And at the end of the day, yes, he is feeling much stronger rapping in English, and that's what he's going to then do. But he still managed to bring in a piece of him into the music, and that's what I appreciated. But I do think he's taking things to the next level of what he thinks his career is going to take. And shout outs to him, man. It's definitely showing some growth, you know?
Yeah.
I think like Zulu Man, as you said, like I when you listen to it, for me, it's for my personal thing. Black and white.
Yeah.
Black and white. Yeah, that joint is dope for me. Ababulali.
Yes.
For sure.
Right? The mixing on point, the mastering on point. I do feel that 20 is too much songs.
Yes.
That's me personally.
I was gonna get to that. Even with Cassper, I was like, I'm
too much.
Was it
songs,
too much? No?
Right? And one thing I established, and I was like, cool, you know what, like Nest is growing. Like you can tell that it's growing. I guess for his fan base, for the people out there, like I see the impact and see how it's moving. And I'm gonna congratulate Nesty.
Showcase.
Regardless, you know?
And the one thing also that's very difficult, you have to also realize, is you understand how difficult it is to be a 23-year-old king of your country and then have to establish yourself in another market. The duality of having to establish yourself, because it's almost like he's a new artist again overseas, and he's trying to find which side of him will they gravitate towards. But that's so difficult to tear yourself apart like that, and you have to choose one or the other sometimes.
I think he's doing himself.
Yeah, he's doing himself.
I think he's doing himself. And I think for them there, music, you'll have to pick up and say, yo, who is Nasty C?
Yeah.
And what is Nasty C about? Where is it from? You know? Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So talking about a lot of songs, I also felt the same way even with Casper's album.
Yep.
So In a Minute Now finally dropped.
Yep.
Casper's officially a father. So that's also shout outs to the brother.
Questa not yet, no?
Questa not yet. Okay. No, Questa's also going to be a father for the second time. He's going to get a baby girl, but she's not here as yet.
I had a beautiful conversation with him on the phone, on DM. Love you, nigga. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's inspiring Scoop to become a father for the second time.
No.
But nonetheless, Cassper, Any Minute Now, also 21 songs. I think the album, because I remember I had interviewed him on the radio with regards to his album, and I spoke to him about a couple of the joints, and I was like, I could hear that he made a rapper's album. Like you can hear in the album that he was like, okay, these guys think I'm doing piano the whole time. Let me get back and show them what I'm about. And he made a musical album. And I think we also kind of foresaw that as well.
Yeah.
Because we were like, yo, especially when it becomes emotional, he definitely pours his heart into something. And he poured his heart into this album. And you can hear it. All of his emotions, all of the feelings, all of what he's been going through. I loved all the samples and the features that he had in the album. The feature that shone the most for me Youngster CPT's verse.
Yo,
That verse. It's
So-
not Cassper's song. I'm sorry. That's Youngster's song.
youngster will do that to your song. The only guy I've seen hang, there's two of them. But still, also, live from Katlehong with Questa is like hard.
Yeah.
Well, youngster and Questa, there's no chorus. It's just the locks going deep lock on it. Ga, 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 ga. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. So shout outs to Youngster. That verse I think was very important. And Cassper even said he even had to change the beat
Yes.
for the verse because he understood how important the verse was. He had to
Yes.
make sure that the song was perfect for
Yeah.
that verse. He also made sure that a lot of his features were shining on his album, which I appreciated because sometimes artists don't do that for their music. They're always
Yeah.
like, I want to be the #1 superstar.
Yeah.
But he made sure that the artists were also kind of pushed into different vibes for the album.
Yeah.
Busiswa was on a drill beat.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mfethu, what was happening there?
Yeah.
But it was dope because I think it was unexpected. And that's what
That's
that's what's dope about
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
pushing people through their limits. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's something Soweto feature was also really dope. So I'm digging how he kind of conceptualized the album.
And he's still #1, you know that?
He's still
On the
number
charts.
one. Yeah, on the charts.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think right now, currently, he's probably #1 or #2.
Yeah, he's still number one. I loved it too, you know. I think he really put a lot of work into it. And obviously, with the making that drill music and also the amacomments, having taken that 2-year break and coming back, and there was so much controversy around the songs you were making, whether it was, it's a Pop Smoke sound, with amacomments, this song existed before. I was really, why in Chafisa? Because I was expecting so much. But with this album and what he's done with it, the features, the musicality of the beats, I still feel like I would really like to hear him come out and be himself more and not reference a lot of sounds. Okay. You know, like the Rick Ross sound or the Pop Smoke sound or whatever. I really would like him, just like he pushes artists to go to various territories where it's new for them. I think he can do that for himself too. You know what I mean? Not just, you know what I'm saying? Go to unfamiliar territories for yourself too. And just not rely on, I can make a good reference track and own it. You know? You know what I'm saying? So, but otherwise, I love it. And as far as the comment that has to do with me,
I was about to say, how you feeling about your shout outs?
I mean, I got a shout out. I hope you bought it. You know, I got a shout out on the Breakfast Club. You know, I guess the shout outs are becoming too nice. There had to be, but I personally, with where I am right now spiritually and where my energy's at and what I've learned with myself and just growing up, I don't see anything bad in it. I love the fact that, because for me, I look at it in another way. I think I like the fact that he was able to know that he can say that, and 70-80% of him knew that Scoop will understand that I'm just venting, that I'm just pouring my heart out, and this is the way I feel. And if all the conversations, all the times I've had with him at his house, sleeping over, getting dropped off in West Dean in a Bentley, you know, these have happened. These things have happened. Like, there's nothing that he can say to take away the way I feel about him. How he sees it is not really up to me. You understand? How he views it and how he feels is not really up to me, but I'm definitely sure of where I am with my emotion and where I am about feeling about him as a man, you know? So I don't see it in any bad way. I don't take it in any bad light. I encourage everybody to start saying how you feel so you can see who's real in the zoo. And you don't have to smile with me, but I'm always going to smile with you, because my journey and my energy, that's where it's at right now. I don't have a hating bone in my body. I had a quote that I put up on the gram yesterday, and it said, angry people want to show you how powerful they are. Loving people want to show you how powerful you are. And that's the way I've always been. And because of my basketball background, I'm a soldier and a general. I understand that my love is tough. My love is harsh. My son will tell you. My kids that I mentor will tell you that. And as much as it is that way, it's also as soft as a soldier picking up and crying, picking up a person wounded on the floor, making sure that they get to their destination. It's as soft as it is, it's also that hard. So I know that my kind of love and my kind of demeanor and my approach might not be for everybody. So with those people that can take it, I'll love them from close up. With those people that can't, I'll love them from afar, but I'll never stop loving them. And that's where I'm at right now. I ain't even trying, I'm not here to beef with artists. I'm not here to cut down any man. I'm not here to try and do all of that. I don't have to understand why you said it. That's the way you feel. That's cool. When you're man enough to want to talk about it, I'm here. Because he was also here at the launch, but he was hidden, you know? And Nadia, I did go look for him. And he was gone already. But also I'm glad maybe that didn't happen. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know when next time we see each other, there's going to be a smile off, because I'm definitely going to be smiling. I'm definitely going to have my hands up, you know. But I have no reason to want to battle. I have no reason to want to, you know, that's not where
You
it's
know what?
at.
I hear you, because at the end of the day, it becomes like a... If people need to get it out, not necessarily only just Cassper, but just like if people need to get something off their chest, they need to get it off their chest, and then they'll move on, and the relationship will still remain the same. I mean, it was also at the launch. It was my first time seeing him after that situation on Twitter where I caught a stray unnecessarily, and I was like, leave this guy. Let him cool off. When we see each other, it'll all be love.
Sure.
It's just one of those things where life needs to happen in the time that it needs to happen, and we'll obviously move on when we need to move on. But outside of that, the album is really dope.
Yeah.
I did love the fact that he also brought out the whole of Muff Town on that Muku joint. He even brought out Momulimi, so I thought that was really awesome.
Yep.
So I even said to him that Prince of Muff Town, he needs to make sure that event happens so that he can shout out to Mafikeng, and that song needs to be performed out there. It's going to be really dope. Moving on to the next tunes as well. We've been saying...
Can I comment on Cassper?
Man, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Vish.
We've spoken so long. I'm so sorry. I forgot.
The Cassper album, obviously, for me, like 20 songs, it's too much.
It's too much, yeah.
Too long.
For me, right? But he wasn't chasing hits when I was listening to this album.
It was chasing story.
However, that I do wish that like I want to hear him more emotional, like the cadence, the approach to songs.
Yeah.
I want to hear a different side of it. That's just
True
me,
that.
you know what I mean?
True that.
Just like, you know, but I do see where he's going at with this, and I'm like, yo, props to Cassper. I think the Zulu Man and the Any Minute Now, those are dope bodies of work right now, and I'm like,
Zulu Man's coming with a deluxe also with it.
Really?
7 new joints.
On top of what he's already put out.
Bana, trust me.
Zulu Man in Japan?
Oh, next to Mom. Look, Mom, I can fly. I lost my nuts. I lost my fucking nuts. I looked at the phone. I'm like, Tico, you're telling me I've been dreaming wrong this whole time. And the dope thing about the Zulu Man in Japan is that Teddy and Nasty have been going to school since primary school. Nasty used to tell Teddy all the dreams about making it. They in the dust in Ilova. You see Nasty's pictures when he throws the old school with the uniform. Dusty. You understand? Dusty. And I'm not talking cash time. Dusty. You understand? So, Goku. Zulu Man in Japan was shot on Teddy. He got him a Netflix credit and a check. My nigga, that's hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, to see it in our time is one of those things that I marvel and I love. I mean, seeing Cassper with Innocent at the beach in Belito. Do you know what I'm saying? Innocent.
He goes everywhere with Innocent. And Innocent is his god now. I'm just like, yo, I love the relationship they've got together.
I think they're brothers now.
They crazy family. Now, I've met Innocent, dog. Like, and the first day I said, my nigga, don't lose this guy. And I'm just loving what the relationship has been, you know. I wanted to also add with the Cassper thing, it's funny because Mega, you know, calls, and whenever at the end of a conversation with most of my guy friends, I always say, yo, I love you, dog. And in the course of our friendship, I always tell people why I love them. This happens to Cassper too. I DM him, I talk to him on WhatsApp, and I'll tell him whenever I feel the need. And Mega will, sometimes when I go to Mega, yo, Mega, thanks for the call. I love you, dog. He always go, yeah, but you also love TBP. And I always be like, of course I love him. I ain't ashamed of that, dog. I'm going to love him in front of your face.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I got off the phone with two people this past week, and I had to pick up the phone and call Mega. So today I've made it a mission. I'm driving to his house. I'm going to go listen to the body of work. From what I've been told, it's out of here.
No doubt.
So what I've been told, I was like, okay. They're like, no, trust me. So I called them and it's like, oh, just pull up VJ. I'm like, all right, cool.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm excited for hip hop right now because I think we did take a little bit of a backseat last year, but I think 2020, everyone was like, okay, we're back in the stew. We're about to make some heat. And the music we've heard this year has been fire.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. Costa's album is coming out.
I want the Zulu, Upik Zulu. I just want that album out.
Sure.
The way he's moving.
Sure.
The way he's moving.
Sure.
And I don't think the whole rap game is looking at it.
No,
the way he's
not.
moving.
Yeah.
Trust me, they're all in trouble.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Big Zulu's always been really dope. I think he's definitely got like a portion or like a vibe that he goes with, and people understand him for who he is. But I definitely am excited. I think the one album I'm excited for is Costa's album.
Yeah.
And I think it's also because I'm a converted. I've mentioned it.
Yeah, I remember.
I've mentioned it a couple of times on the show. You go to
I remember.
I'm a converted fan now. Like I'm one of those people where I'm like,
Tish gang.
I'm actually even gonna call him at some
Tish
point and
gang.
be like, let's
Tish
make
gang.
a joint,
Yeah, you're
bro.
a Tish gang, dog.
Do you know what I
You're
mean?
Tish
I'm
gang.
part of the gang now. I'm not gonna dye my hair green though, but you know, we
Shout
out
out to
here.
Smoother Rock for handling the management duties.
Yes.
SPR management.
He's out here. And yeah, man. So I'm keen to hear the album because I really think it's gonna be.
I want to also
it's gonna
hear
be
it because I want to hear the joints where he's not talking to the Tembi and Abu Tembi Nabo. I want to hear another side of him.
Yeah, emotional side of it,
Right?
Yeah.
What Shane Eagle,
Yes.
kind of troublesome out there. Kind of really troublesome out there. Like for real, like that video, like VG, you were telling me it was green screen, right?
It looks like it's live. So
Yeah.
I think he's dropping a visual album.
Yes, because all the
the
tracks
thing.
are live for the pre-order. It says live.
Yeah. So
That's
it's-
smart.
so
So he might
he's
change the
moving as well.
background every time he's performing a track.
definitely. He's
Got
moving his
gold
own
link
lane.
on it.
Yeah.
Got the that
look
shit
on
was
it.
hard. Because I was like, I wonder what he's gonna come back with, you know? I do know, I also feel like there definitely was a role Vaughn was playing that I felt like I missed it.
Yes.
You know? Just to market and keep your whatever.
I was about to say that obviously when I saw it, it just popped up on my timeline through his tweet. I felt like shit.
It's so big.
He needed I think he needed more
Rollout.
rollout to
Yeah.
say cool. But yet again, it's a pre-ed, you know, so
Yeah.
it's still coming soon. You know what I
Showcase.
mean? So maybe he is re-envisioning it with this team.
And the
But
song.
you won't take the benefit of the doubt to say that a person like Shane Eagle, he's got his own cult following. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just like when Reese a Reese drops as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Reese dropped a joint like 2 weeks back or so, right?
Residual self-image.
No,
Not
it's
that one. Another one.
Yeah, you
Another
know what I
one.
mean? And it's just like they've got their own phone. Like they don't need that much marketing to do whatever.
A
They're
Reese is
still
gonna
new,
drop
you know
a
what I mean?
fucking hot project.
Yeah.
That I can guarantee. Like that shit might kind of like really fuck shit up. And I'm excited also because of what Nasty is doing with Def Jam and Universal and overseas. America doesn't play. Once they see that there is cotton fields over there, and some person became rich of those cotton fields, they all go to that cotton rush. They all go to that gold rush, which I'm trying to say is Nasty is not going to be the only kid that is going to be signed by an overseas label. No, Marco. I think Shane Eagle is fucking next, this
Definitely.
close. And I think A. Reese, when he gets his things right, Tuli, hold it down, they're gonna search, and those 3 guys are gonna get it. You know, I think that's because now America's like, okay, so if Def Jam has this South African nigga, Colombia,
Epic.
300 Epic, they looking, they're like, Asperger. Oh, you found this Elaine chick. Oh, Asperger. What else is out there? So shout outs to you kids. It's your time to stay ready. I'm really impressed with Lucas Raps.
Yeah.
fucking love your
I actually
vibe.
popped up one of his freestyles. And
He's
I was
hard,
like, yo,
VG.
I actually need to call Luke because I'm
He's
like, he
fucking
is
hard,
right?
VG. And the way he moves.
Yeah, I need to get to know him, man.
Silently corner,
Yeah.
skater boy, akadibana muntu, shaya imculo wakhe is in his vibe, but into ana hard.
Yeah. I need to get to know him, man.
Wow. But yes, of course, Ricky's also kind of taken a different direction with his music now. He's doing the piano sample, and I think he obviously got a little bit of influence from what it is.
Yes.
And then said, okay, this might be the vibe,
Yes.
let's see. And he's definitely riding the wave of that video clip that was going viral on social media. I'd say, nice time, dog.
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, let's get into the stew.
Ricky
I'd say,
Gelo, Makhathini,
featuring Focalistic and Tyler ICU. Performance out at Lokfest for the first time was also really dope. Shout outs to Makhathini for also understanding what the people want. Because what the people want, he will give them.
Yes.
And then he said, here you go, guys, level 1.
Nice
Okay,
time.
smell album, get Ricky, please.
Bro,
Hurry up.
I think you might have to wait for that.
you'll wait,
Hi, Ricky. He's washing the brand, man.
You were saying Ricky was gambling about the song?
So I had a conversation with him yesterday on the phone, and I just wanted to say, like, I was telling him, yo, dog, like, you remind me of that nigga who comes to PE and he's from Joburg. He looks Indian, but he's black. He's called Ricky, and the niggas in PE will be like, it's with a K, ne? It's with a K, that Ricky one. But just giving him props on how, I love how he always metamorphosizes.
Ooh.
You know, evolves, changes, moves forward, goes to unfamiliar territories. He doesn't box himself in just hip hop, in his dress code, in his demeanor and business, and his way he puts himself out there. And Ricky doesn't want to just be a hip hop artist because he has a very vast knowledge of pop culture stemming from obviously the Boys and Bucks lineage. He knows that pop culture is more important. It's more has more impact and has more cross appeal. So he wants to jump and just not be a genre specific dude. And I love that he can do that. And one of his favorite terms is from one of the leaders of the Black Panthers is power is the ability to identify phenomena and make it act in a certain way. And that's what Ricky's career has been, from Awena, Boss Zonke, Which Way, live performances, and now again he's doing that thing again, you know. So shout out to him, and I love what he's done. And Focalistic, you're something else. But we gotta wrap it up right now.
Anyway, guys, as you mentioned with the whole new website that's coming through, so all the podcasters out there, guys, send us your comments, amacomments, AMA comments, at popcast.co.za. Send a selfie video of yourself, even if you could just send an email, whatever, just throw these questions at us. Also remember that we are about educating you guys at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So also give us homework, give us stuff that you want to know, and we'll give you some input and feedback.
No doubt, Vij.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've read in the comment section now?
So most of the stuff that I've picked up on the comments is like, yo, how much do artists earn via streaming on YouTube? It's the stuff that we've previously mentioned,
covered,
you know what I mean? So it's one of those, guys, do yourselves a favor, do go check out all of our episodes, you know, from season 1 till now. You know what I mean? You will get some of those answers that are there.
Sure.
Obviously, some of the other questions was like, so Scoop and Cass, you know what I mean? And you just answered it.
For sure, I guess.
I'm a comment,
Yeah.
you know? And
I did also see a comment there saying that I'm too excited for this season. Maybe you must just shake me up and call me lazy.
I said, I'm not lazy, dog. I'm not lazy.
sorry, bitch. Actually, we should do a song.
I'm not lazy, dog. I'm not lazy.
Anyway, before we get too excited, right?
Yeah, okay.
Cool. So the other questions also was like, how do you, for artists, instead of being a musician, what other fields? I'm like, yo, we've discussed most of these things. So we're not gonna sit here and say, again, and Spirit Fuji again, and Spirit Fuji again. You know what I mean? We've talked about these things. Guys, give us anything else that you want to know, or our feelings, or what you see about the whole rap game, what's happening. That's it, you know?
No doubt, my dog.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're back again, season 3, back. And we're live and we're excited. And of course, the gowns are going to drop real soon. Scoop is going to give us the scoop on where we can get the gowns.
What is the timeline, Scoop?
Angazi dog, asinamali. Bayasincisha. Asinamali, simenza amagawuni, senze amasa, asinamali dog. Basofumana imali singawenza amagawuni niwafumane. Mara asinamali dog, kunzima.
Don't worry, don't listen to this guy. The gowns are coming. We'll be able to sell them soon and you'll be able to purchase them on the website as well. So make sure that you check it out. Popcast.co.za. We'll be back again. We'll be back again next week, Tuesday. Make sure that you join us. Keep on commenting. Keep on joining us in the live chat.
Missed you too,
and
man.
Don't be so serious, man. I missed you.
Miss you too,
man. I thank you.
Yeah, miss you too, my nigga. Okay. I miss the tennis court more than anything.
I will go back soon. I kind of like
it's the summertime now.
I kind of like the spots, but I'm gonna the next time I see itching and tea here.
Itching and tea, ne?
Just to
so maybe next week's I go space the skate up, ne?
Yeah,
let's do that.
We'll make a plan. We'll definitely do that. And as Scoop mentioned, we will definitely be moving around and showcasing black business. But we'll be back again next week, Tuesday. Thank you for joining us.
Keep happy, Jaka!
Don't forget, amacomments at popcast.co.za.
Keep happy!
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ms. Cosmo. We're here on the POPcast. So this feature will be all about social media commentary. Whatever is hot and happening on social media, whatever is trending, whatever is buzzing at the moment, I will be chatting about it here. And of course, we're just going to dig deep and figure out exactly what people are talking about, why things are trending, should they be trending, and of course, what we feel about them. So of course, you'll tune into that every single Tuesday here on the POPcast.
Hey, Sue, what a pleasure it is to be back on the POPcast. And of course, Mr. Guni will take a break. We want to up the ante just a little bit. You saw the features, Cosmo with the social desk, Vichi with amacomments, and so I'm here. My segment is called The Thread Count. What's the segment about? Just shining light, promoting, and advertising Ndwana that are doing clothing labels, streetwear or designer wear, whatever it is. How do I get a hold of the clothing? Most of the times I'm buying them or the kids give it to me. But if you are not at a close proximity to me, I usually know but you can't get your clothing to us so we can talk about it. So, Fakai address, you can send your packages there. Please don't send no bombs. Just send your packages with your clothing over to the office with a little write-up in a bio, maybe some pictures, whatever would help us to talk more about you if we don't know you personally. Now, let's start it off with this brand that I really know personally and I've been wearing and I wear it a lot of times. I've worn it on the show. It brand is called Swank_Jozi. SWANK_Jozi. That's the address on the Instagram account. They also are on Facebook. It's a young Ndwana. It goes by the name of Mahuta Africa. Ndwana encinci nyanyani ezenzela lembahla. And he does a great job of producing good quality goods that last a long time. What I also like about the brand Swank_Jozi is the fact that he's got a very extensive and widespread product range, from hats to scullies, caps and scullies. He'll have crew necks and hoodies. He'll have jackets, and he also has socks. So I don't have everything here. What I'm gonna wear that day, it gets so frustrating, you know. So I couldn't find everything that I have from Swank_Jozi, but I did get some prized pieces. I'll start off with the cap. I've worn this one on the POPcast. Jaitana Le Cap, obviously for the two-tone, and the branding and the stitching is so high quality, and the fact that it has it on every side of the cap, so no matter where you are, you can identify it as the brand Swank_Jozi. This hoodie and this graphic, Yesandla, again, the electricity vibes are being, promoted over here. Printing a frandi. Very important things like stitching, no stitches loose, everything looks the same size, everything looks linear. These things are very important when you're trying to sell your product. I love the color of this hoodie. I love the feel of it. Very summery. You know, I could wear it to the beach just to break that wind, especially in places like PE where I'm from. I love the fact that it has pockets. Do not make, I mean, I hate hoodies with no pockets because it's like, what are you doing, dog? Like, why not have a hoodie if I can't do this? You see what I'm saying? So I love the fact that he's printed on the side, you know, really, really like that. Love the colors that he's used as well. Loved the back printing because if someone's walking behind me, by reading this, you have to ask me, where did I get it from and which country am I from? Feel me? Type vibes for my international passport holders out there that know what it is to wear something and get asked in the street, yo, that's a nice tee. Where you get it? Where you from? Shout outs to my niggas getting stamps out there. So yeah, love the hue of this baby. And then the prized possession that I have worn on the POPcast, and the next day after I'd worn it on the POPcast, it sold out immediately. It was a two-piece. It is a two-piece. I don't have the pants with me. I actually gave the pants away. They were too small. But the jacket I'm keeping forever. Money print, different notes from different countries. Very light, again, summery jacket, just to wear at nighttime. Kaloku ndiyijani, so sometimes akwazi ukunxiba nje iskipa, akwazi ukunxiba nje ishirt, ijani kaloku soloko yombathile. You understand? So this jacket is very nice for that. Also partying, you can still have it on and still keep the eye-catching quality of your outfit because of the print, but you don't have to get hot because it's literally like ingowa. It's almost like linen. Very, very nice. Formal kind of casual jacket that still keeps the character of streetwear because of the printing. So yeah, Swank_Josie, first label on thread count. See about them on the gram. Do not forget, address coming up at the end of the show. We want to help you guys, wherever you're from. Send us those packages with your clothes, with a little write-up, and we will definitely put them up right here on the POPcast For Real show. Peace.